From Darkness to Dawn, the journey of survival and empowerment. In the beginning, our protagonist was living a life filled with promise and potential. The mentor, once a beacon of guidance, initially seemed like an ally in his pursuit of success. Their relationship was rooted in trust, support, and mutual respect. This section sets the backdrop for what initially seemed like an ideal mentorship, which would later become the source of profound pain. As time went on, subtle changes began to emerge in this relationship. Manipulation slowly became a part of their interactions, wrapped cleverly in the guise of mentorship. The protagonist found himself grappling with confusion and denial, unable to distinguish between helpful guidance and insidious control. The mentor's grip tightened, and what had begun as subtle manipulation escalated to overt physical and emotional abuse. Imagine living a life where every day was a testament to survival, filled with the fear of stepping out of line. The protagonist's reality quickly dissolved into a never-ending battle for autonomy. This was more than just abuse. It was a systematic campaign to strip away his independence and sense of self. In these moments of turbulence, the protagonist became increasingly isolated. The mentor's tactics effectively cut him off from friends and family, reinforcing a sense of solitude and entrapment. This isolation was a strategic move by the abuser, strengthening his control over the protagonist's life, leaving him with no one to turn to and nowhere to hide. Within this tumultuous environment, our protagonist experienced an intense internal conflict. Torn by loyalty to the mentor and an emerging understanding of the abuse, he was engulfed in emotional turmoil. This section highlights the complexity of his emotions and the mental toll of abuse. Every survivor has a breaking point, a moment of unbearable clarity that demands change. For our protagonist, this turning point was catalyzed by a particularly harrowing event that shattered his denial and ignited a fierce determination to escape. This pivotal moment was the crack that began to shatter the abuser's hold, revealing the path to liberation. From this pivotal moment of clarity, a powerful inner strength began to surface. The desire for freedom fanned the flames of resilience, prompting the protagonist to take action. This section marks the beginning of his transformative journey from victim to victor, driven by a newfound resolve. With courage mustered and determination set, the protagonist embarked on a meticulous plan to escape his abuser. This was not a decision made lightly. It was fraught with immense risks and fears, yet it was a necessary step towards reclaiming his life. Here, we explore the strategic and brave steps he took, each fraught with potential danger. In a tense and dramatic turn of events, the protagonist executed his escape plan. The process was rife with peril, each moment a gamble between failure and freedom. This escape was nothing short of an act of courage and a defining moment in his fight for survival. Freedom, initially overwhelming, was soon met with the challenges of rebuilding a life. Our protagonist grappled with feelings of liberation intertwined with the staggering weight of his recent past. The initial period post-escape was a mix of emotional tumult and a nascent sense of hope. This transition marked the beginning of a new, albeit daunting, chapter. As the dust began to settle, the first steps toward healing were taken. Therapy and support groups offered the protagonist new avenues for understanding and processing his trauma. This period was foundational, laying the groundwork for regaining power over his own narrative and starting to mend emotionally and psychologically. Through therapy and with the support of new friends and allies, he began rebuilding his life one step at a time. Small victories, such as setting and achieving personal goals, helped forge a resilient spirit. This section highlights the protagonist's journey towards self-reliance and the importance of community in fostering a sense of belonging and strength. With resilience slowly fortifying his spirit, the protagonist embarked on an introspective journey to reclaiming his identity. The process involved recognizing his inherent worth beyond the shadows of his past. He delved into new hobbies, explored different career paths, and gradually rebuilt a life rooted in self-respect and independence. Looking back at his experiences, the protagonist began to develop a new perspective. His reflections were honest, acknowledging pain while also recognizing personal growth. This introspection helped him understand and dismantle the patterns of abuse, ensuring they wouldn't govern his future decisions. In moments of reflection, true empowerment surfaced. Personal achievements began to redefine his self-image, no longer a victim, but a survivor. His accomplishments, whether in personal development or professional pursuits, became milestones marking his resilience and tenacity. Despite forward momentum, lies the ongoing challenge of coping with trauma. The protagonist learned to employ various techniques and support structures to manage and mitigate flashbacks or triggers. Acknowledging that healing is a journey, not a destination, became a cornerstone of his empowerment story. Inspired to prevent others from experiencing similar situations, the protagonist decided to share his story openly. He became an advocate for abuse survivors, speaking at events and participating in community initiatives aimed at raising awareness. His voice transformed into a powerful tool for change, reaching and impacting many lives. Through his advocacy work, he tirelessly focused on educating people about the signs of abuse. By sharing his experiences and learned insights, the protagonist helped equip others with the knowledge needed to spot and prevent potentially abusive situations. His efforts became a pivotal part of his empowerment journey, channeling his past trauma into powerful educational messages. Central to his narrative is an uplifting message of hope. No matter how deep the pain or how controlling the abuser, the power to reclaim one's life and write a new chapter is always possible. The story reinforces that by reaching out, finding strength within, and taking that first step, a new future can be forged. In this segment, we examine where the protagonist stands today. Post-abuse, his life has taken on new dimensions, characterized by goals and aspirations unfettered by his past. The vision for his future is filled with promise and potential, a testament to the strength that led him out of darkness. Addressing societal misconceptions became another focus. As a male survivor of abuse, he confronted and shattered stereotypes, contributing to a broader recognition of male victimhood in abusive dynamics. He leveraged his platform to challenge misconceptions and demonstrate that abuse is not constrained by gender. During recovery, reconnecting with family and friends proved instrumental. Mending fractured relationships and forming new ones provided a vital network of support, reinforcing the importance of community in the healing process. Through experience comes wisdom. Our protagonist distilled key lessons from his journey, offering valuable insights for those who find themselves similarly trapped. His story shares tangible advice on recognizing abuse, building support systems, and finding the courage to change one's circumstances. Forgiveness, both toward himself and his abuser, played an essential role in his healing. This was not an exoneration, but rather a release of the emotional burdens that hindered his ability to move forward. Understanding forgiveness as an aspect of personal peace showed his growth. Engaging with the community provided opportunities to extend his healing and reach. Volunteering, helping fellow survivors, and leading support groups further galvanized his path of empowerment, turning his experience into powerful service for others. Through art, writing, or other creative outlets, he found an additional path to healing. These expressions became essential components of his recovery, enabling him to process emotions and experiences healthily and constructively. Creativity became both a therapeutic tool and a means of sharing his story. In reflecting upon his journey, the growth and change become undeniably apparent. Despite the pain of his past, the evolution into someone empowered and thriving showcases the human spirit's capacity for endurance and triumph. His story is a powerful reminder of resilience. In summary, the protagonist's journey from abuse into a life defined by freedom and self-discovery underscores the relentless strength of the human spirit. His story is a testament to the fact that, despite adversities, one can emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected to their true self. In closing, we extend a message to our viewers. If you or someone you know is caught in a cycle of abuse, please seek support. Escaping is challenging, But you are not alone. There are resources and people ready to help. Reclaim your voice, embrace your power, and remember, it's never too late to write a new chapter in your story. Thank you for joining us. And please like, share, and subscribe to continue spreading stories of hope and resilience.